I had this game as bulletin board material since the offseason. I remember what Amon-Ra St. Brown said in the offseason. Oh, the Lions, if our defense didn't get hurt, we should have played the Eagles in the NFC Championship, and we deserve to play them week one. Dog, did your defense give up 3 picks like Jared Goff did? I don't think so. Hell, Jamo had a pick. What the hell was y'all doing? Get your offense in check. Ain't on the defense, your offense didn't get it done. So now Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Lions, they got a chance to try and act like this is what would have happened if we did what we were supposed to do in the divisional round and not get upset by a rookie quarterback and face the Eagles. I'm here to let y'all know it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough battle. But I want to ask you this question. Game for your life. Do you trust Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff? If you utter the words Jared Goff, you're lying to yourself. I can't take you serious. I just can't take you serious. I mean, and that's frankly what it comes down to. There's been a lot of talk about the Eagles not playing well against the Packers. And I think there's some validity to that, but it's mainly overreaction. And the reason why I think it's overreaction is because the Packers defense is really good on all three levels. Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker. Xavier McKinney, safety. They have decent cornerbacks. Their defensive line, Rashawn Gary, Micah Parsons. They got a great front seven. So it's like you're looking at the Packers defense. There's not too many teams, if any, outside the Browns that have the playmakers the Packers have. So I do feel like the Eagles not having their best game, Jalen Hurts not having his best game against the Packers, with the Packers defense being highly motivated, was why the Eagles only scored 10 points. But if you feel like the Eagles against the Lions are going to score 10 points, that A.J. Brown is going to be out here getting 2 receptions for 13 yards, you are sadly mistaken. What do the Lions love to do? Play man coverage. So you're telling me that A.J. Brown's going to be lined up against Terrion Arnold? Terrion Arnold? He might be lined up against 5'9" Amik Robertson? Are we serious? Are we serious? Come on, dog. And I think this is the perfect get-right game for A.J. Brown. It's in the script. It's in the script. You can't write it any better. Because what happens every time A.J. Brown complains, or it's something in the media after a game, whether it's a loss, whether it's a win, but the offense wasn't really clicking, like I'm trying to let y'all know today that A.J. Brown is going to feast if the Lions are dumb enough to play man-to-man coverage on him. I still believe that A.J. Brown is the best receiver in man-to-man coverage in the NFL. If you watch that Eagles-Broncos game and you saw A.J. Brown in that first half against Patrick Surtain, who won that matchup? It was A.J. Brown, and it wasn't close. The only way they neutralized A.J. Brown was in that second half they played zone. Now, we have seen this season, Devontae Smith has been one of the best receivers in the game against zone coverage. Also, peep this. The Lions are going to have to play man-to-man because they're going to have to sell out to stop Saquon Barkley. And I do not trust their secondary at all to hold up, especially when Jalen Hurts is coming off a game that he wasn't good. He wasn't good. And here's the thing I know about Jalen Hurts. In big spots, especially after having a pedestrian game, He shows up. A couple of weeks ago, the guy lost to the Giants, had a bad game. He followed that up with 300 plus yards and 3 tutties against the Vikings, who were the second ranked pass defense at the time. This guy, when the moment comes, when it's time to show up and rise to the occasion, Jalen Hurts rises to the occasion. So I'm not worried about the offense against the Lions. They've done this before, where they've had a bad game and they follow that up with a phenomenal game. Now let's talk about the Eagles' defense against this Lions offense, and then I want to compare the Eagles and Lions rosters. I also want to compare Nick Sirianni and Dan Campbell as well. Let's talk about the Eagles' defense, right? Because this Eagles' defense is quite possibly coming off their best game of the season, and it's not close. You could argue outside of the Super Bowl, this was their best performance in the Vic Fangio Eagles era. I mean, they were sensational. But what's the one knock? You had Bo Melton out there. I mean, some folks are funny because somebody told me, they said, man, it's a reason why they're trying to have Bo Melton play corner. He ain't no wide receiver. And it's like, touche. The Eagles past 2 wins. Giants, well, you can say 3 wins, honestly. The Vikings, they had Carson Wentz at quarterback. And yes, you got Jettis and Addison. But when you have Carson Wentz at quarterback, look, you're at a disadvantage, right? You followed up against the Giants, who their whole secondary is injured. And then against, or not the whole, well, their whole, I said secondary. The Giants, the Giants' whole wide receiver core is injured. Malik Neighbors, you got scat out, all this stuff. So it's like you ain't really have no real threat. And then against the Packers, Tucker Kraft out, Jaden Reed out, Matthew Golden out, Romeo Dobbs out during the game. So I do think there is valid criticism to say, can this Eagles secondary hold up against Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams? I think that's a fair criticism. What I will not say is that I'm worried about Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyon Mitchell has been playing like an all-pro. And if he keeps this up, he's going to be an all-pro. And I'm letting y'all know this. Outside of Patrick Surtain, there isn't a cornerback in the NFL that I'm taking over Quinyon Mitchell. And if Sauce Gardner went for 2 first-round picks, what the hell is Quinyon Mitchell going for? That's why when Howie's like, we gotta, save some money for the cap and all this stuff, it's like, yeah, it's gonna come a time that Quinyon is gonna get paid. And you seen what Surtain, J.C. Horn, all these guys are making, Sauce Gardner, dog. Quinyon's gonna get the bag. But I'm also looking at Cooper DeJean against Amon-Ra St. Brown. Because what is Amon-Ra St. Brown's nickname? Slot merchant. What's Quinyon Mitchell? Sorry. What's Cooper DeJean? A slot corner. He plays in the nickel. I cannot wait to see Cooper DeJean against Amon-Ra St. Brown. And we have seen Cooper DeJean do some amazing stuff to amazing players in this league. Whether it's locking up Jettis, whether it's dumping Derrick Henry, whether it's locking up Jamar Chase. If you can lock up Jettis and Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown ain't even a sweat. Ain't even a sweat. So I do expect that Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell will hold their own. But at the end of the day, the biggest need, the biggest thing that the Eagles have to worry about heading into this matchup is the defensive line. If the Eagles' defensive line can get pressure on Jared Goff with 4 guys, I'm letting you know the Eagles might win in a blowout. Because I know for a fact the Eagles offense in this game, in this spot, is going to turn up. I know that. Because the Lions have been talking crew. The Lions have been talking too greasy, too crazy. And we got some psychopaths and Hurts, AJ, Saquon, Smitty, Goddard, all these guys. They've heard all the noise. They've heard all of y'all say the Lions should win the NFC. The Lions are the cream of the crop when they haven't proved anything, haven't done anything in this league. So we are looking at this and we are saying to ourselves, if the Eagles front 7, but really, if the Eagles defensive line can get 4 guys to pressure Jared Goff outdoors, it's going to be a long day. Because you can say whatever you want about Jared Goff. I think that he's maybe 8th or 9th or 10th best quarterback in the league. He's around there. He's nowhere close to being a top 5 guy. But if you give a guy like Jared Goff a clean pocket, I don't really care how great Quinion and Coop are or Reed. He showed up the past couple of games. Andrew Makuba, he's shown great flashes. You can say what you want about Dory Jackson. He's coming off possibly his best game. But regardless of any of those guys, if Jared Goff gets a clean pocket, he's going to pick you apart. So let's say this. Do I think that the Eagles defense has the performance they had against the Packers? No. Hell no. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I mean, I'm looking at this. The over-under is 46. 46? What that tells me is a lot of folks are doubting the Eagles' offense, which I get because they lead the NFL in 3 and outs, and we can talk about that. And look, the offense has been inconsistent, but when you've needed them to turn up, they've turned up. Against the Rams, you're down 19 points. You need a half to get yourself in the game, and you do that. Now, I'm with A.J. Brown where it's like, why do y'all have to do this when we need to do it? Why can't this just be in the flow of the offense from the start? My friend told me, he said this, bro. He's like, AJ is like that partner who just wants to, like, get the flowers, get the nice things, but doesn't want to go through the BS to get those nice things. And I think that's valid. Like, your girlfriend, you mess up, you get her the flowers, and she's like, she's not really happy for real. She got the flowers. She's still going to say thank you, whatever the case may be. But it's like, bruh, why you have to mess up and then give me the flowers? Like, you should have just gave me the flowers from the rip. So it's like with AJ, he's like, bruh, just give me the ball in the beginning of the game and have it flow throughout the game. Like how Amon-Ra St. Brown in this game, he's going to get targets. He's 100% going to get targets in this game. I think Coop could win that battle. But Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to get his targets. Even if Coop wins that matchup, he might be on him 10 times in the game. Amon-Ra St. Brown might catch 2 balls on him for 15, 20 yards. That's still a damn good performance. But he's not going to be on Coop the whole entire game. So Amon-Ra St. Brown is still going to get his at the end of the day. I think that this game is definitely like high 20s, low 30s. I'll give my final prediction at the end of this game. So that's one of the things that I'm just looking at right there is like, all right. Like, this offense is going to have to turn up. But if the defensive line can get pressure to Jared Goff, I'm not predicting no blowout, but they are going to hold him to less than 20 points. Think about this, bro. Against the Chiefs, a damn good defense, top 10 defense, the Lions scored less than 20 points. Against the Packers, a top 5 defense, The Lions essentially scored 6 points if it wasn't for a last second touchdown in garbage time. So the Lions offense, they'll beat up the bum teams. They'll beat up the Commanders. They'll beat up on the Bears, drop 50 on them. And then you look throughout the season, you like, dang, the Lions are second in the league in points. And yes, their offense is prolific, but they're the opposite of the Eagles. You see, the Eagles against the bum teams, unfortunately, they play down to their competition. Like, the Eagles are 15-2 in the AFC. Their two losses are against Zach Wilson and Bo Nix. Bums. Bums. Compared to Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, all these guys, bruh. Like, so we are looking at this, and this is back to 2022. So we're looking at this, and I do believe that both offenses will be productive. And I think this will be a lot like the Bills-Eagles game in 2023. It's going to come down to overtime or the last play of the game. I'm asking you this, and it goes back to what I said in the beginning of this episode. Who do you trust in that spot? Do you trust Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert to get you a touchdown, to put you in position to get a field goal? Or do you trust Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamo, Laporta? I'm trusting the Super Bowl champions. And I get the Lions hype, but I think we have to put stuff into context. And I want to say this. I'm not trying to play both sides. I do think that the Eagles defense could hold this Lions squad to less than 20. But one thing that the Lions do that the Eagles have struggled with this season is play action. So not only does the defensive line need to get pressure on Jared Goff and make life uncomfortable for him, they have to do well on 1st and 10, 2nd and long. Like, you need to be able to defend the run with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery on 1st and 2nd down. Because then when you're in 3rd and long and Jared Goff has to pass the ball, it makes life much easier for the defense, right? Because now it's like, instead of it being 3rd and 5, and now the Lions can either do play action, they can do a whole bunch of things. They can either do the, run up the middle with Jahmyr Gibbs, outside zone with Jahmyr Gibbs. You could do up through the middle with Amon-Ra St. Brown. You could do a deep shot to Jamo. You know that he's good for that. But it all comes down to winning 1st and 10, winning 2nd and long. If you can do that, you can hold this Lions squad to less than 20 points. Here is my official prediction. I'm going to get to some other stuff as we end this episode. My official prediction for this episode is Eagles 33, Lions 30. I think at the end of the game, it's going to come down to a last-second field goal. And Jake Elliott has been money. But a lot of people are going to fall into the trap of doubting Jalen Hurts, of doubting this Eagles offense, hell, doubting A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and these guys, and thinking they can't put up a 30 ball. And I don't even think it's about Kevin Patullo. I think it's just about the great players on the Eagles making great plays. And let's talk about KP real quick. Because, look, bruh, I started Real Talk in 2020. Graduated Morehouse College in 2023. I graduated NYU, got a master's in journalism in 2024. I would be disingenuous to use my platform week by week and say Kevin Patullo is trash. Kevin Patullo is ass. He's the worst guy in the world. We all know the guy ain't good. But he ain't the only reason why the offense has been inconsistent. Jordan Mailata, all them penalties, that don't help. The run game and his beat up offensive line, that doesn't help. A.J. Brown and Hurts not being on the same page on the field doesn't help. Because I'm also seeing Devontae have a career year. I'm seeing Dallas Goedert have a career year. Now, I do think it's crazy that you're paying A.J. Brown $30 million to essentially be a decoy. But I'm letting you know, just have patience. It's not going to happen like this for much longer. It's going to change. It's going to change. Because this team literally won a Super Bowl less than a year ago. Doing what? Feeding A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown had a touchdown in the Super Bowl. In the NFC Championship, he had 96 yards and a touchdown. He was amazing. Devontae, amazing. So these guys are the truth, and I expect them against the Lions to show up. And let's also say this. Look, I'm 24 years old, and I wasn't really, aware of what was going on during the T.O. era. But this A.J. stuff ain't nothing compared to that. I mean, you're telling me this guy T.O. did all of this after the Eagles lost the Super Bowl against the Patriots. He blamed Donovan McNabb for getting, quote-unquote, tired in the Super Bowl. That summer, he questioned McNabb's leadership. He fought Hugh Douglas. He got suspended and held a workout in his driveway for the media. He complained that McNabb did not celebrate his 100th touchdown in his career. He also said Favre would be better for the Eagles. That's what he said. Imagine if A.J. Brown said that Justin Herbert would be better for the Eagles. Oh my God. Like, look, the guy ain't perfect. And I have been critical of the ways he's gone about this stuff. But this guy ain't T.O. He ain't T.O. And so when you got the old head saying, man, this ain't nothing, I get it. I get it. I get it. Now, being in media, I kind of like the way that AJ always gives us something to talk about. It's always something. This Eagles team thrives through adversity, and it's funny that, like, this is how they are. But, bruh, like, I just want to say, bro, like, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good because I haven't seen a game where the Eagles have had all of their offensive players in a high-stakes game, and they've lost. And they've lost. But if it does come to a point that the Eagles lose a playoff game because of incompetent play calling, we'll be the first to say it. But we're going to need Hurts to play. Like, the situation the Eagles are in, Hurts got to play amazing. His coaching staff ain't going to, like, help him out. He got to play amazing. It's kind of like somebody being born into poverty. And it's like, all right, are you going to just, moan about it, just cry about it? Or are you going to just make the most of your situation? And if I'm Hurts and these guys, you still got AJ, you still got Smitty, you still got Saquon. That's better than 99.9% of the freaking league. I think the only team that has that offensive talent is the Lions, or something comparable to that. So it's like, make it work. That's what it is, bro. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We'll talk with MJ. Y'all know I always keep it real. I just want to make sure I do not miss anything in this. Talked about Eagles-Lions preview, Hurts, Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Can somebody tell me, if the Eagles are a real super team, how come the Rams are rated over them? How come people are so quick to say the Lions are over them? If the Eagles are truly a super team, Like y'all say, and y'all use that narrative to discredit Jalen Hurts, to discredit Nick Sirianni. If they are truly a super team, they should be the odds on favorite by a mile to literally win the NFC. The Chiefs aren't in the playoffs, and they are the odds on favorite to make the Super Bowl. It's not opinion, that's fact. So then y'all see the Seahawks, and they get a good couple of weeks. And you were like, how can the Eagles stop them? How can they stop the Eagles but keep that same energy? Because what we do is we rate the Rams, who haven't beat the Eagles in the Sirianni era. We rate the Bucks, who have only beat the Eagles when they've been banged up. We rate the Seahawks, who the last time their quarterback was in a high leverage moment, he crapped the bed. We overrate the Lions, who in the playoffs consistently fold. And we just dumb down the team that just won the mother effing Super Bowl, bruh. But we love it because we buy low, we sell high. If you want to make some money, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I ain't trying to influence nobody, but I am saying, look, it is a prime time. It is a prime time. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I believe the Eagles get this W, and Bears fans should love us this season. See y'all. Peace.